here in there now who's more of an outside center than anything else, and Cummings is having his trouble developing an inside game with the likes of Sampson guarding him.
We have not seen Robert Parrish much. Moses Malone, of course, started this period, but we haven't seen Parrish in the game.
Well, he might be just what the doctor ordered here in this situation, but he's at the tail end of the bench.
Michael Ray Richardson comes back in. He has sparked a New Jersey Nets surge. The Nets have won 4 in a row. Of course, we saw them against Philadelphia last week, and if they stay healthy, you know, they are indeed a sleeping giant.
I'll tell you, he's become the leader of the Nets, Michael Ray, for exactly the same reasons that Magic and Isaiah are the leaders of their team.
10-point lead. The East's biggest margin was 6 early, 22-16. The West been the dominant team in this game. We still have at least one more period to go as Cummings on a feed gets inside.
Well, that's what they need more of, the East, inside play.
You know, this East-West rivalry is making its presence felt too when you get to the championship series and the so-called strong physical teams of the East against the finesse teams of the West. Gervin.
Well, right now, the East is so concerned, Dick, of stopping those big people that they're allowing people to come right up the gut.
Under a minute to play. Here's Terry Cummings. King is there. Got it up in a hurry once again, and with 44 seconds to play, 97-89. 8-point lead, which really is meaningless in a game like this with all of the talent. Gervin, Cummings, here comes the East. Michael Ray Richardson has Moncrief and King. And King is called for a charging foul.
Well, they got right at Bernard King that time, knowing full well that he likes to run and take it strong to the hoop. But watch two blue jerseys position up perfectly, particularly Sigma.
4 fouls on Bernard King. We have 26 seconds to go in the third period, 17 on the shot clock. The East has the strong bully teams, and the West may be soft, and so anytime you gain a measure.
But the bullies aren't in there right now for the East. It's the Rabbits, Dick.
But overall,
yeah, you're right.
6 seconds to go. 97-91. The lead is cut to 6. It was 11. Here's Magic Johnson going in. And we have a loose ball foul as the buzzer sounds, ending the period. That's the end of the third quarter with the score, the West 97, the East 91. We now pause for a word from your local station. Beating the previous largest crowd by 11,000. We have 43,146 at the Indiana Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, an all-star record by a wide margin. The previous record was set in Pontiac, Michigan in '79, and we have a 97-92 game coming into the final period. At the buzzer, Ralph Sampson had fouled Terry Cummings, and Cummings made the second of 2 free throws, and so the score is 97-92. You're looking at the leading scorers, Gervin of the West and Larry Bird, who's back in the ball game as we start the fourth period.
Well, I think the experimenting is over, Dick. The possibility of having 5 7-footers on the court at one time, I no longer think is going to happen.
Ralph Sampson missing inside. It's still West ball. Let's check who's in there, and Adrian Dantley will come in as we look at K.C. Jones. There's Dantley replacing Calvin Nat. So the West will have Dantley, Olajuwon, and Sampson, 2 of the Houston players, along with George Gervin and Magic Johnson, the 2 starters in the backcourt. The East has Bird. Isaiah Thomas is back in there. Bird and King, the forwards. Thomas and Michael Ray Richardson in the backcourt, and Moses Malone is now the center. Gervin loses it. 2-on-1. Isaiah Thomas, Michael Ray, and he draws the foul.
Just a little bit too late. The pass to Richardson didn't allow her to really get a strong finish on the end of it. But I think that leg is bothering Isaiah a little bit, because he would have blown right by Magic. Look at that tape.
Talked about the important game that the Pistons have coming up with Chicago, the third-place team in the Central Division. But Isaiah Thomas, who is limbering that left leg right now, played college ball, of course, at Indiana University at Bloomington nearby. Thomas Inside. Magic Johnson comes out of it. Richardson gets another blow, but Magic gets by him, and here's Sampson. Basket good. With a vengeance, the West comes right back.
What a perfect example of what can happen when you push that ball up fast. Look at Richardson. He's a speed merchant himself. His Magic gets by him, but the defense now has to be spread out, allow Sampson to come swinging right into the hoop with nobody on him.
Sampson has 15 points in the ball game and will now try for his 16th. Malone clears 99-93. Less than a minute gone by in this final period. Berg will take the shot over Magic. That's Olajuwon with the rebound. Sampson. Johnson gets it back to Sampson. Sampson is 2 in a row. 2 slams.
What a great show of mobility that time. Little up fake, put on the floor, goes to the opposite side.
Sent by Larry Bird, missing, but a push inside called against the West, maybe against Adrian Dantley. And here's Michael Jordan coming back in the ball game. He has scored 5, and Michael Ray Richardson goes out. So Michael Jordan is back in the ball game. Rookie from the Chicago Bulls.
Back in the lineup for the East Coast Stars, number 23, Michael Jordan.
So the starting tandem in the backcourt. Jordan and Thomas in there. Jordan. Down by Akeem Olajuwon. The rookie took the shot. The rookie got the rebound. They're going to tie it up. They beat King and Sampson. K.C. Jones, you know, the Boston Celtics have not used many men off of the bench, and there have been perhaps some rumblings that Ray Williams could possibly figure in the Boston Celtics future somewhere down the line.
Well, he's been roaming around for a while. Nobody's picked him up, so that very well happened, Dick.
Gervin, the basket with 21 points. Magic now in double figures with 10 assists. So Ray Williams, that would be quite an addition for any club, particularly, wouldn't it?
Sure would be. I wouldn't picture Ray Williams being a Celtic, but fundamentally, you know, he's not the greatest, but boy, what an athlete. I'm sure K.C. Jones would get him into the flow of things.
Bernard King scored at the other end. Well, the Celtics have had a history of turning people around. You know, Charlie Scott, Pete Maravich.
Yep.
Dennis Johnson, maybe to some people.
Much better player, I think, Dennis Johnson than before.
Shot that from his hip, and George Gervin has 23 points. And as we get into the ball game with a 10-point lead, the West leading, we also have to start getting our mindset into possible MVPs. And George Gervin with 23, 11 for 13 as a candidate.
I think George Gervin is here to prove today that he is not done.
Thomas, Isaiah Thomas with a spectacular basket and a foul to boot.
Here comes Gervin's shot. Off the hip. What else do you expect from the 6-shooting territory of San Antonio and Los Angeles next Sunday?
They hope to anyway, and of course they beat Philadelphia at home, which meant a good deal to them. They say we beat one of those strong Eastern clubs.
Great psychological effect to win against an Eastern team on your home team. I think it's a necessary thing for the Lakers.
So here's Isaiah Thomas, including the three-point play. 105-98, 7-point lead, 9:29 to go. We're going to watch the matchups because that's going to be a factor down the stretch. Olajuwon is in the ball game with Larry Nance. And Dantley, foul, go to the line.
That was a heck of a move by Olajuwon. Likes to put it on the floor. Good fake. Only Jordan stepping down stopped him from getting a nice shot.
Jordan commits the foul. Olajuwon will shoot. Right now, the East has their lineup that began the game. Irving, Bird, Malone, Jordan, and Thomas, but not so for the West.
Let's take a look at Olajuwon, Dick. As a little fake, drop step, and fake back into the middle. Boy, that's a pretty good move for a kid that's only been playing basketball for 7 years. The East team, though, without Jabbar, don't have that that inside power game to go to that coaches like to use last few minutes of the game.
Thomas, long-range shot, so Isaiah Thomas with 22 points. 6-point lead. Plenty of time remaining. Johnson had a screen from Dantley. Pass back to 8.